Today on Walk with History, we start part one of a series about Emmett Till, the 14-year-old black child from Chicago who was visiting his family in Mississippi when he was brutally lynched in August of 1955.
What is happening in 1955? Eisenhower is president and has been for a year and a half. The Cold War is in its infancy, but going strong. Johnny Carson starts the Johnny Carson Show on CBS. 30,000 visitors flock to Disneyland for opening day. The cost is $1 for adults and 50 cents for kids. In 1954, 1 year prior, Brown versus the Board of Education was decided to end segregation in public education. There was pushback in the South. Emmett Till, son of Mamie Carthen and Lewis Till, was born July 25, 1941. He's 14 years old, and he's visiting his family in Money, Mississippi. The photo that you see with his hat was taken by his mother on Christmas Day, 1954, 8 months before his murder. His mother, Mamie Carthen, was born in 1922 in Webb, Mississippi, not far from Sumner, but moved close to Chicago when she was 2 years old in the Great Migration, when blacks escaped violence, lack of opportunity, and unfair treatment in the South and headed north. She marries Lewis Till in 1940. They separate in 1942. Lewis Till dies in 1945. They live on Chicago's South Side, and she is 33 years old. Emmett is her only child. Her uncle, Moses Wright, is 64 years old and a sharecropper. He's an ordained minister and has the nickname Preacher. Moses Wright takes a train from Chicago down to Mississippi after he's visited his niece and told Emmett stories of Mississippi. Emmett begs his mother to go.
I am in Money, Mississippi today, and I am in front of what exists of the Bryant Grocery and Meat Market in Money, Mississippi. This is the location where Emmett Till and his cousins stopped on August 24th, 1955, buy some bubble gum. And he was out front here with his cousins, and him and his one cousin went inside. His one cousin bought bubble gum relatively quickly and then left. There was about a minute where Emmett Till was alone in Bryant Grocery with Carolyn Bryant.
Carolyn Bryant is 21 years old in 1955. She was born in 1934. Her maiden name is Holloway. She marries Roy Bryant in 1951 at 16 years old. They own Bryant Grocery Meat and Market since 1953. Roy Bryant is 24 years old. He returns home from a trip on August 27th, which is why the events don't start to take place until August 28th. Roy was told by another person and then questions his wife about what happened in the store. Mississippi is the poorest state in the 1950s, and Money, Mississippi only has 3 stores, a school, a post office, and a gym, and a few hundred residents.
No one knows exactly what happened, but some claim that he placed the money directly into her hand instead of setting it on the counter, like was customary for black people to do when interacting with white people, and he did not do that. Then he came out, she came out after him, and then there's no disputing, he wolf whistled at her. And it's in that moment she went to go get a gun out of her car, and Emmett's cousins freaked out because they understood the social norms that were happening in the 50s in Mississippi, and for him to do that to her, they were scared. And when Emmett saw how scared they were and how they were jumping in the car to get away, he also jumped in the car to get away. And they said they would keep it to themselves, they wouldn't talk about it. And that is the events that happened here. The Bryants lived back here behind the store. This was their home. This is where Carolyn Bryant lived with Roy Bryant with her 2 young boys. But as you can see today, it is just in disrepair. It was a 2-story place. The ceiling has fallen in. The original doors are at the Civil Rights Museum in Jackson, Mississippi. And the original sign, I believe, is at the Smithsonian. There's also a museum in Glendora, Mississippi, dedicated to Emmett Till, and I think they also have some artifacts from the original store. But this is what it looks like today. So right here, this is on the ground now, but this is where Emmett Till would have walked in to the front door. And you can see kind of like a door. And this is where Carolyn Bryant would have come out to get the gun out of the car, although I don't think she ever gets it. Kids get into their car and race off. There is a marker out here. It's on the Mississippi Freedom Trail. Emmett was not here very long. He had just gotten to Mississippi on August 21st. So to come here on August 24th is just 3 days later. He wasn't here very long. So he is coming from Chicago, not knowing what these racial social norms are here, therefore not adhering to them. And then again, it says he's coming in to get candy with his cousins. This is a picture of Emmett Till. Some of the courtroom scenes. We'll go to most of these locations. This is what Bryant Grocery looked like. We're standing right about here in that photograph.
Strong measures were used to keep blacks disenfranchised, and Jim Crow laws, including lynching, was an effective way to do that. And this is where we find a 14-year-old boy from Chicago going to visit family in the Mississippi Delta.